Good evening, it's day one here in the rather splendid and palatial surroundings of Alexandra Palace in North London for the Daffabet Masters, the exclusive tournament that is always by invitation only and only to 16 of the world's top players, and it's always a real gem of a way to start any new year. And tonight's first opening session, in the evening anyway, had a real stamp of quality about it because it featured Ding Junhui of China, a man who won this tournament 5 years ago, up against the reigning Crucible King, Stuart Bingham. Now, Stuart had that amazing career high in Sheffield 8 months ago, but living up to the label of world champion hasn't been quite so easy.
I've never actually won a game here, so hopefully I can change that this year. Looking at the people I've lost to, Ali Carter, John Higgins, Judd Trump, Mark Selby, last year Marco Fu, you ain't going to get any easy game, so if you ain't on your game, you're going to get beat. Obviously I've got a tough opponent this year in Ding, so hopefully I can overcome the voodoo. The first time I actually played him at Prestatyn, obviously many moons ago now, but and I beat him then, so I may probably put a little bit of fear in him then. Obviously we played a few times after that and he may probably beat me a few times on the trot, but it's been pointed out to me that I think I've won 7 on the trot against him now since 2011, so hopefully that continues.
Well, it seems amazing to think, but Ding Junhui's first appearance in the Masters was as a 16-year-old in 2004, and 3 years later he made the final, only to suffer a thumping at the hands of Ronnie O'Sullivan. But in 2011 it became only the 3rd overseas player to win it at Wembley Arena. The very next year the event moved here to Alexandra Palace, and the 28-year-old hasn't won a single match here in this venue. Mind you, neither has Stuart Bingham. In fact, the world champion has never been past the last 16 stage in the Masters. Something had to give tonight. Well, they shared the first couple of frames, pretty scrappy to this point, and it was all being watched by 2 former world champs, Peter Ebdon and Dennis Taylor.
Well, how many times have we seen that type of shot where they miss the ball completely?
And a miss. Stuart Bingham 4.
I'm sure the players will mention it to the tournament director, Michael Ganley, or Martin Clark, former top 16 player. They'll get the fitter to have a look at the table after this evening's play.
1.
So an early chance for Stuart, and he can develop the black spot area here with a nice cannon.
Eight. Nine.
Didn't quite play the cannon as he intended.
16.
Just slightly awkward here.
17.
Stuart last season made 44 centuries. He's only made 10 this season so far. But an early chance here to get a sizable contribution.
24. 25.
And that time, Dennis, he got a much bigger bounce off the side cushion than what we've been experiencing so far this evening.
$32. $33.
That was very well played. Nice little cannon there. And you can see the difference, can't you, in Stuart's concentration and focus now. Winning that last frame has
40.
really helped to settle him.
$41.
That'll unsettle him a little bit. He may have to take the blue now because he's hampered with the black. So he's got an awful long way to travel if he does take the blue to avoid the yellow and brown and get back up to the reds. He's looking at the black, but is that red? Not right over the top of it. He couldn't do much with the cue ball from that position. This red may pass the blue into the corner pocket. Awkward
48.
cueing there, but he pushed the cue through in a straight line. One more good pot here and he could secure this frame. Looks good. Looks very good. Well played. Starting to look like a world champion. Such a fluent player, Stuart.
56.
He had 279 centuries in his career. Jan Verhaas keeping a close
57.
look at things there to make sure he doesn't touch one of those reds with his sleeve. So not that many more pots and he's got himself into the lead here. Delightful little stun shot there through the gap.
64. $65. $72. $73. $80.
Frame well and truly over, so one good pot down the cushion here and he's got a sizable break available.
$81.
And every chance, now that he's knocked that down the cushion, surely he couldn't make a maximum break.
$88. Okay, sir. Thank you. $89.
He has made a maximum on 3 occasions, has Stuart Bingham. Needs to bounce. I think he's just about okay. £10,000 for the highest
96.
break and just the 10,000 for a maximum, because it rolls over, and it
97.
was made at the UK Championship. Neil Robertson did that, and there'll be an awful lot of people here in this audience that have never seen a maximum break live.
$104. $105.
Needs to go a bit further.
112.
He's going to have to leave himself with a tough black if he drops this in.
113.
What does he do? He's got to go for the maximum. He's got down to pot the pink, because if he makes 146, every chance that he pick £10,000 up for that. He might. No, he was only kidding. He's going for the magical maximum. And what a roar if this goes in. Get in there, get in.
Absolutely fantastic.
120.
And whereas the blue was a very big problem because the green doesn't go past it, if he can drop the yellow in, he could be perfect on the green. Oh, he's hit it thick.
Well, did he get a kick or did he hit it thick? We'll have to ask Stuart, but what a chance that was for his 4th maximum break. The crowder denied that. But more importantly for Stuart Bingham, he looks much more relaxed now, big smiles on his face. Well, he's going to cry as well. Missed the maximum, but he's won the frame. He leads 2-1.
Yeah, we had a maximum at the Masters last year from Michael Fu, almost another one there. It was a great attempt from Stuart Bingham. Well, they shared the next 4 frames. Stuart actually had taken a 3-1 advantage, but Ding Junhui clawed another couple back. So 4-3 as we join it. Now, top break from Ding so far, by the way, has been 60. And it's worth pointing out that Bingham has won their last 7 matches over the last 5 years. In we go to frame 8. It's Ding to play, 30 points adrift.
One.
It's the same scenario, though, for Ding here. As I said, the reds are all covering each other. It's not quite as bad now. There's one at the left of the bunch of reds that will pot. That's where he's lining the cue up to get onto that. I mean, he's got the perfect angle on the yellow if he wants to cannon into the reds and just disturb a few. But he's got that single red that he can play on. Just depends how he feels. But it's a good angle to play the cannon into them if he wishes. Now, how's your luck, Ding? Could have been better,
3.
but still has a pot on. Played it well enough. That's a good recovery.
4.
But once again, those reds all blocking each other into the right corner. I'm not sure. Maybe one available into the left corner. Yeah, there's one there that'll just go into the left corner pocket.
6.
In fact, a couple. But he's okay now. It's quite a decent chance.
As you mentioned earlier, Dennis, the shot that Ding played on the yellow, when you're playing well and full of confidence, you seem to get good splits. The balls turn out well when you go into them. And when things aren't going well for you, the number of times that you come awkward on balls is just incredible. But it was a very good recovery shot. Played the shot perfectly.
12.
And was very, very unfortunate not to finish on something easier.
$13.
Well, we're in frame 8, and Ding Junhui, believe it or not, his highest break's 42. There you see it. Be a good time to make your highest break of the match.
18. Yeah.
In fact, it would be a good time to win the frame with this visit and get himself back all square.
$90. $26. $27.
Yeah, he's going to need the cannon on the 3 reds. They're all covering each other, but he should be okay. He'd be unlucky not to finish on at least 1 red when he cannons into them.
If he flicks the bottom red on the left, he'll either be left on that red or push the other one towards the right centre. I always decided that he can see enough to pot it, Dennis.
Well, that's even better. Taking the cannon out of the equation there was much better.
34.
As you can see, just enough room to get to the potting angle.
35.
And he needs the cannon this time, though.
It's worked out very nicely.
42.
Yeah, the little flick off the pink helped the situation there.
$43.
And that supersedes his 42 break that we mentioned was his highest. So 1 easy red and then a couple of tricky ones. The one along the
48.
cushion behind the black, slightly easier than the one the left side of the table. Let's see, 18 in front. Red to come, 19. So still a bit of work to be done here to secure the frame.
49.
Going to need both reds, and he played that pretty well.
55.
Is he dead straight on this? Yeah, he hasn't got much angle to work with, so he may elect to... well, if he just drops it, he's going to leave a very awkward black. Sometimes from this situation, he'll screw up the blue just to try and get the white away from the cushion. But he's just going to dolly it in, as we say. And the key shot coming up.
56.
In fact, he can't play for the red into the right corner pocket, so far from safe in this frame just yet. Just the red needed.
63.
We've seen a few of these missed, but we've seen a few slide in along the cushion here.
And I wonder if the red will actually stick to the cushion. I remember Stuart potting one a few frames ago with pace that actually hit the cushion, so interesting to see what happens here, Dennis.
Well, he's debating as to whether to refuse the pot. That's what he was thinking about. But, I mean, he's now back looking at it. So this has got to go in. Well played.
64.
Fantastic shot. Perfect cueing.
He just thought for a second, you could see him there thinking, maybe should I just make sure and get a good safety shot, and then of course he played the correct shot.
71.
And he did hit that red perfectly. He really did.
You can't fail to be impressed with the resolve
71.
that Ding showed, especially during that break,
Ding's on
because
way.
he's not played well in this match, and he's dug deep, and he's given himself a chance.
He certainly has, and he's got the scores all square again. We still can't pick anything between these two players. It's 4 frames each.
And the match now over 3 hours old, and it's become a best of 3 frames affair. Into the next we go then, and it's Ding who's just missed a yellow, and Stuart 10 points behind.
If that pulls up...
2.
Oh, it's not going to. Still not all lost for Ding. Had that white have pulled up 12 inches short of there, it would have been straightforward.
Stuart Bingham, 2.
Very good shot from Stuart.
It's one of those, isn't it, Peter, where there's just enough room for the white to go around the back of the green. And if he was to miss it, every chance he could leave a free ball. So important that he gets this right. Just this side of the middle pocket with a little bit of left-hand side, hoping to hit 2 cushions and not go around the back of this green.
I think Ding's still in a state of shock that the yellow that he played into the right-hand black pocket didn't go in.
I'll just show you the yellow that I thought was in the pocket. I think Ding did, and then all of a sudden it just seemed to catch that left jaw. But he's got to be careful here. He'd like to hit it off 2 cushions and not go around the back of the green here. Well, that is an absolute shocker.
4. And the miss. Stuart Bingham, 4.
Surprised he was frightened about going around the back of the green, but to finish up playing the shot that he has there, bad misjudgment. You'd have to say this shot It's for the frame, even though he's 4 points behind. Well, I'm saying this shot for the frame, he's come up a little bit short. There's nothing coming easy to the boys. It's just pure pressure. It means so much to these two players to get through to the quarter-final of the Masters. He made sure of the pot with the rest and just didn't hit it hard enough. The pot's on, but he's got to be careful that he doesn't go near the middle pocket. Well, he's got away with that one. Well, I say he's got away with it. Look where the cue ball's finished. Ding will take this on, because if he just screws back a couple of inches, oh, he's got an easy blue to roll in and he's on the pink. So big shot coming up for the Chinese player. Got to take this on. It looks as if he's refusing it. That's unusual. That is unusual, especially after playing that shot. Why did he not get down and just try and knock the brown? And he'd got very little to do with the white. And well, I'm just shocked.
Well, it was actually a very difficult shot he tried to play there, Dennis, because one, he had to avoid the double kiss, and two, there was every chance that he was going to be pushing the brown towards the green pocket.
4.
Stuart taking time to compose himself here. He knows the importance of this shot.
Played it well. Well, what a tussle this ninth frame has been. Both players having chances. In the end, it's the world champion who takes it, and he now leads 5 frames to 4. He's just one away from a place in his first quarter-final, believe it or not, of the Masters.
Oh, he's so close. Can he finally get into a first quarter-final in this Dafabet Masters? He's tried for long enough. Let's get into the next. Stuart with a 25-point cushion here.
It looks like a safety. Once again, I don't blame him. Doesn't want to be taking a risk at this stage. Let Ding back in.
Well, I think Ding will be taking this one on, Dennis. It's quite thin. Oh no. Playing the safety shot. I was a little bit surprised there. He's played a decent safety shot, but I think he could have taken the red on as a shot to nothing. Perhaps being 25 points behind, he decided that discretion was the right option. That's very thin. This could be really good.
Oh, he could pop the yellow here. Oh, no, he's okay. Starting to get excited.
It's certainly been a very tense match, and whoever comes through this battle would have expended an awful lot of nervous energy. Stuart's looking a little bit tired now.
Now then, this is the chance that Stuart's been waiting for. Ding was a little unfortunate there. You're never sure where they're going to go when you play that type of safety shot, but for the red to go right over the pocket, a bit unlucky to say the least.
Well, if he plays the cannon, one good cannon, and it could be all over. Well, he could avoid the cannon. He's played that really well.
Red and a colour
8.
for Stuart to win his first ever match at the Masters.
Nine.
And Ding, well, he won this title in 2011. He's gone out in the first round ever since. And I think early on both players were trying so hard.
16.
Stuart Bingham has battled away. He almost made a maximum break. He's played the snooker in behind the
Stuart
pink.
Bingham. 16.
And barring a good few snookers, Stuart Bingham has won his first match here at the Masters, and he beats Ding Junhui 6-4.
Foul.
Ding looks over at Stuart. It was a tough match for both players. Both played well in patches, but both missed lots of chances. Ding will be very disappointed, but I can tell you what, Stuart Bingham, he'll be over the moon having won his first match here in the Masters, and he beats Ding Junhui 6 frames to 4. Well done to the world champion.
Well done, world champ indeed, and he joins us live here in the players' room. Stuart, first ever quarter-final in the Masters. It's been an awful long time coming.
Yeah, I think, what's that, my seventh?
Seventh go, yeah.
So, yeah, it was very scrappy today. Obviously, you can see Ding struggling a bit, and I think it may probably brought the game sort of level down a bit. But, yeah, it was just absolutely over the moon to be in the quarterfinals.
4-all, you can see you really dug in for those last couple of frames, didn't you?
Yeah, sort of. We was both missing chances. I think at 4-all, I've tried to open the reds when there was maybe probably 40 points there, and I've played a bad shot on 9 or something. But yeah, just absolutely over the moon to get through.
And of course there was a 147 attempt as well in frame 3. We thought at one point you were going to go for the 146. Might have gone for the pink.
No,
Were you tempted?
Yeah, no, not really. As soon as you get that far, you've got to go for it. And that's actually my first ton, I think, in the Masters.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that would be a good start. Then 147, but obviously weren't meant to be. But yeah, just sort of played well in patches, but so just happy to be in the next round.
From memory, Higgins or Wenbo in the next round. They're going to play on Wednesday, so you got a couple of days just to calm down.
Yep.
But I remember, you know, when you came to the Crucible last year, you'd never been past the quarters there.
Yeah.
And I just wonder how much sort of encouragement you take from having pushed all of those records aside and gone on to lift the title. Can you do something similar here, Stuart?
Yeah. So that was a big stepping stone for me just to win a game here. So anything goes now. It's obviously going to be tough against Leanne or John. So yeah. Couple of days off, go back home, sort of do the norm, go to the school run with the kids and that, and yeah, get back here for Thursday or Friday, whenever I play.
And just before you have to get home and get on that school run, just tell us a little bit about being the world champion. We've talked a little bit about how difficult that it's been to try and live with this label of being the world champion. Has it changed things that much for you?
The pressure changed. Say I've been a pro 20 years, this is my, I think, 21st season, so I've always been in the background. All of a sudden now I'm pushed right to the front, and I don't feel like I'll play any different or I'm a different guy. It's just obviously the pressures of being world champion. It's it's a big learning curve, really.
Well, you learned a lot tonight and you're through.
Yeah,
Lovely to see
thank
you. Let's get you on the school run, shall we? Thanks, Stuart. All right, we'll see you very soon. Well, while Stuart collects his thoughts and gets himself ready for the next instalment here at the Masters, we're going to reflect on the opening match of the Masters today. And it was between the defending champion Shaun Murphy and Mark Allen at the world number 11. Now, this was a fascinating match, and we're going to join us 5-3 in front for Mark Allen on the cusp here after a quite bizarre occurrence earlier on, because he was gifted frame 6. In fact, Murphy forfeited the frame after having 3 fouls on a red that he was not snookered on. And Olivier Martil, the referee, said, "That's it, I'm sorry, that's the rule, you forfeit the frame." So it was very dramatic in this match. And we're going to get in here to frame 9. Can Allen wrap it up now?
Yeah, and that's a fair point about the scoring ability of the two players. When you look at the breaks that Mark Allen has made, 50 in the first, 137 in the third, 91 in the fifth, 104 in the seventh. I mean, that's top draw scoring, and that's the type of contributions, as John has said in the studio, that Shaun Murphy needs to raise his standards to, and that will help. Floated the red in, and what's more, played it very confidently. There was no air of a shot for nothing in that one. He played at such a pace, he was bound to be on blue or bought colour. Okay, he flicked the red, which just slowed it up, and he's wrong side the blue, but as I always say, you'd rather be well the wrong side the blue than just off straight. But as I say, in this situation, you cannot afford to miss, particularly when you're in.
Seven.
Well, pink pots past the green into the top right hand corner pocket. The only problem for Shaun is here, pink may get tied up when it's re-spotted, and of course the black is tied up as well, so a lot of work to do. You could play a couple of shots here, maybe pot the red, go around the back of the black up for the blue or bulk. Or will you try and develop the black and red here? He's got a nice angle on the red into the bottom left hand corner pocket. Cue ball, bit of bottom on the cue ball, could career into the red and black and may bring the black into play if he wishes, but he's got this opportunity as well from this red. Oh, that's a good shot. Excellent shot. He wanted to bring the black and the red into play, didn't he?
Yeah, a lot will depend now on where this black goes. I think if it doesn't go on its own spot, then that red may just be available. It's hard to tell at the moment. Well, Shaun doesn't think it was. Now, does the black go on its own spot? If not, it'll have to go as close to its own spot as it can in a direct line with the middle of the top cushion, which, as I say, tells me that that red could possibly be possible. I'm never quite certain what that tells us, you know. Does that mean it goes on? No? Now, you'd think if that cross was right in the middle of that marker, it'd go on, wouldn't you? But it doesn't. It can't be touching the red. Shaun just going and look round now. He doesn't want this red and black to be a plant to the corner. And I'll tell you what, 21. It looks very close to being one. So if he does try and play the cannon here, he's got to be careful he doesn't hit that hard enough for the black to go in the corner pocket.
Again, nice angle on this red, isn't he? Just a stun across into the red and black. Yeah. Needs the bounce.
Yeah, he couldn't play it any harder. There was always a fear if you caught it wrong, you could have knocked the black in, but this is a tricky one now. Just got to drop this in. As you say, Ken, he just needed that black just to bounce a fraction. Couldn't do much with the cue ball, so he couldn't get the cue ball as far away from the cushion as he would like. So this is another tester, and as I say, cannot afford to miss when he's in the balls like this.
30.
Good cueing again, and lovely angle on the black now. Stun up into the two reds just above the black and try and split the more reds into play. That's okay. He's got the red into the center if the bottom red of the pack doesn't pot.
37.
Nice angle again on the black. He could play the cannon again just to nudge them open. He's got the red to the right, the blue that's easy to get on. And he decided to take the no-risk route. Now, can he play this red and leave himself a nice angle on the blue? He's down quick, so obviously he can.
46.
Now this could be the key to this frame. He'll be playing the cannon this time, but you always need a little bit of luck that the reds come out nice. That red just above the pink, hit it full in the face. In it goes, and he's on the red. Superb.
Yeah, lovely shot. That red plumb on, perfect. It's been a good response, isn't it?
I was just going to say exactly that. Are you reading my script here? But absolutely, you can't help but be impressed by the response here from Shaun after what happened with him in that frame where he was, well, conceded by missing the ball 3 times. And then Mark Allen, the next frame, made 104. Oh, that looked a bit wide, but just lacked that pace. If a bit more pace, I don't think that'd have dropped.
— 60. — 67. — 68.
So that puts the frame well and truly in the bag, you would have thought.
75.
2 snookers to tie needed for Mark Allen. And as you said a few moments ago, Ken, when you've got a lead like Mark Allen, you always feel you're going to get 1 or 2 chances to clinch the frame. But this is, as I say, tremendous response from Shaun, and maybe a little bit of doubt creeping into Mark Allen's mind now.
Yeah, absolutely. For Shaun Murphy, as Mark Allen looks on, this will give him great confidence. Last couple of frames.
84.
Okay, 67 in the last was just about enough, but this will make him feel good and give him that bit of confidence, and knowing that 1 chance he gets, he's going to win the frame from. But the first few reds and colours in this break were superb. The way the black was tied up, the pink was tied up, and he developed them so nicely indeed. And I tell you what, the crowd have been in for a wonderful treat this afternoon. This red will make it another
99.
century. It's been a high quality match, not without incident. Well played, Shaun Murphy.
100.
Well, he's missed the black, but he won't be too disappointed. He's got a century, but more importantly, got another frame on the back. He's pulled one back. There's only one behind now. But Mark Allen still leads by 5 frames to 4.
Yes, Murphy summoning some resistance, as you would expect from a great champion like him, and having been 2-5 behind, can he now close the gap completely, or will Allen get over the line? He is 10 points up in the next.
Yeah, Mark Allen 10 points ahead, so he's going to need that blue. He's got a nice angle on the brown now, and he can pot the brown and get that cue ball over towards the blue. Anywhere behind it, he'll have a chance of a pot, but this is not straightforward. Well, the brown's gone in.
7.
Wanted the cue ball a little bit closer to this blue, so blue up into the left-hand corner pocket for a place in the quarterfinals and beat the defending champion.
And it's there. It's there. What a great shot. And look at the determination on Mark Allen's face. And the opposite with Shaun Murphy.
And just rolling the yellow towards the corner, 22 points of difference, just 13 remaining, 2 snookers required. The defending champion looks as though he's on the way out. And it's difficult enough to get a snooker with just the 2 balls on the table. To get 2, almost impossible. Well, they nearly give him 1 for free there. Well, that's good to see. Good to see the sportsmanship. Because Shaun knew that Mark's heart would have been in his mouth. It's been a terrific match, Ken, hasn't it? Played in a great spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. These 2 lads are good mates, and Mark's heart was in his mouth there for a second. There's no doubt about that. And this is a good effort. Ooh.
Just didn't run, and of course now it looks as though he's left the pink, which will dot the I's and cross the T's in this first round match.
And then it goes, so Shaun Murphy will be ruined. 1 frame that he absolutely gifted to Mark Allen. He said after he won it last year that it's not normally this easy when he won the final 10-2, but it wasn't easy today. Maybe his own worst enemy, but take nothing away from Mark Allen. 2 centuries, a high one of 137, and the defending champion is knocked out by the young man from Northern Ireland. He wins by 6 frames to 4, and he's in the quarter-final.
Well, Mark's record against Shaun hadn't looked so pretty, but that's certainly begun to even things up again. Great victory for Mark Allen, rather. And we say farewell, of course, to Murphy. Next live snooker for us, it's Judd Trump against Stephen Maguire, and that's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We will catch you then. In the meantime, good night.